And so we descend again, deeper, darker, into the kingdoms built upon the ruins of heaven's sorrow. Hell is not one realm, but many. A labyrinth of kingdoms, each carved from the sin that gave it shape. Pride forged the first citadel, a crown of flame upon Lucifer's brow. But below that burning throne are realms more ancient in spirit, more ravenous in desire, more monstrous in ambition. Here, the torches of glory gutter and die. Here, light is swallowed before it learns to shine. Here dwell the demon kings, whose dominions feed upon the human heart like vultures upon a battlefield. And our descent now brings us to the kingdom of desire, a triad of ravenous powers, Mammon, Satan, and Leviathan. Their halls are not ruled by rebellion, but by hunger, a hunger that predates even the fall. Let us continue. Let us descend. Mammon, the golden abyss. The path to Mammon's kingdom begins not with fire, but with glitter, a shimmer in the dark, a glow-like treasure buried beneath the world. At first it appears beautiful, a field of gold dust floating in a gentle shimmering current, but step closer and you realize the truth. These golden flecks are souls, ground down like sand beneath the weight of their own greed. The air turns thick warm, heavy with the metallic scent of coins heated in a furnace. The descent sharpens, becoming a slick slope of polished obsidian veined with molten gold, and at the bottom spreads the Aurum Chasm, Mammon's domain. It is a canyon carved by desire itself. Mountains rise like jagged crowns, their slopes glittering with rivers of molten coin. Golden waterfalls roar into bottomless pits that swallow light whole. Structures of impossible wealth pierce the sky. Towers sculpted from gemstones the size of boulders. Palaces of silver veined with ruby tendrils. Vaults lined with living chains. This is not splendor. This is addiction carved into architecture. For every structure here is built from the souls of those who spent lifetimes chasing wealth that could never fill them. Their obsessions crystallized into the very stone. And at the heart of this gilded hell stands a figure colossal and terrible. Mammon. Neither fully humanoid nor fully beast, Mammon's form is a monstrous blend of metal and flesh. His body is plated in molten gold that drips like wax. Coins and jewels encrust his hide like scales. And from his back rise pillars of treasure fused into wings of jagged metal, too heavy to lift, yet always trembling as if yearning to take flight. His voice is avalanche and furnace combined. Mammon. All things fall to me, for all things in the end are desired. Mammon was among the first to fall, not because of rebellion, but because his heart already belonged to something other than God. While heaven sang in unity, Mammon sang alone. He counted what was given instead of rejoicing in the giver. And when Lucifer's rebellion erupted like a star bursting, Mammon did not choose sides, he chose opportunity. Now he presides over the damned, whose desires devoured them in life. Kings who bled nations dry. Merchants whose greed left cities starving. Misers who clutched wealth even on their deathbeds. Their punishment here is simple: to become what they worshipped. Some melt into rivers of gold, their faces rising in the molten current before sinking beneath it. Others calcify into gemstones, their eyes trapped in crystalline prisons. Some grow heavy with coin until their skeletons collapse under endless wealth. Mammon walks among them, a god of futile longing. But even in his tyranny, there is tragedy. For Mammon was once an angel of provision, a steward of heaven's abundance. His fall twisted blessing into obsession, generosity into hoarding, stewardship into slavery. And as we leave his realm, the gold dims, the light dies, and the path narrows into a choking tunnel of ash. Mammon's whisper follows us. Desire is never sated, it only changes its form. And the tunnel plunges into fire. Satan, the warden of revolt. The tunnel opens violently, not gradually, not gently, but explosively, as if some colossal force smashed the walls outward. Here lies a realm of conflict, a realm of fury, a realm where every stone cries out with the echo of rebellion. This is the Red Bastion, Satan's domain. Lightning forks across a blood-orange sky. The ground is scorched and barren, cracked like dried bone. Mountains rise like serrated knives. Rivers of boiling tar snake through the land, bubbling with the rage of the damned. And everywhere, everywhere, are chains. They hang from the sky like roots of darkness. They coil around the mountains. They bind titanic monoliths in place. Some hold tormented forms suspended in midair, struggling uselessly against bonds forged from their own defiance. For Satan is not simply a demon. He is the spirit of resistance incarnate, not Lucifer. No, Lucifer was pride. Satan is opposition, the adversary, the one who stands and fights even when the battle is hopeless. He appears at first as a shadow cast by flame, tall, rigid, unyielding. Then the fire behind him grows, outlining his form. His body is carved from volcanic stone, glowing with cracks filled by molten hatred. His eyes burn like forge embers. His horns curve backward like jagged blades, and his wings, vast, tattered, skeletal, smolder with falling ash. Satan speaks not with majesty, but with defiance. Satan. To oppose is to exist. To submit is to die. He does not kneel to Lucifer. Though Lucifer reigns above him, he bows to no one. He is the warden of hell's prison legions, the commander of all who rebelled even against their own rebellion. The souls punished here are those who live to destroy, warlords who bathe nations in blood, tyrants who crush dissent, zealots who burned what they could not control. Their punishment is eternal conflict. They fight endlessly upon the scorched plains, their weapons fused to their hands. When they fall, the ground devours them, only to spit them out again, reborn to battle once more. But Satan does not revel in their suffering. He does not feast like Beelzebub, nor seduce like Asmodeus, nor hoard like Mammon. Satan believes in the war, believes in the cause, even now, long after the cause is lost. And that belief is the greatest tragedy of all, for deep within his molten chest, buried beneath centuries of hate, flickers a sliver of the angel he once was, the guardian of oaths, the defender of truth, a being who stood for righteousness, until righteousness hardened into stubbornness, and stubbornness calcified into revolt. As we leave the Red Bastion, Satan watches us not with hatred, not with disdain, but with a soldier's silent recognition. For every soul, in some way, wages war within itself. Leviathan, the abyss that breathes. Now the path changes, the fire fades, the lightning quiets, the air cools, then chills, then freezes. We hear it long before we see it. A deep, wet, dragging breath, a sound older than the world. The walls become slick, the ground becomes soft, the darkness becomes alive, and then the tunnel opens into nothingness. A black ocean, a sea without horizon, without sky, without light. The surface churns with oil-like waves that glisten with faint, sickly blue luminescence. This is the midnight sea, the domain of Leviathan, the serpent of the deep, the embodiment of envy and consumption. The air is thick with brine and despair. The water whispers with the voices of the drowned. Giant shapes shift beneath the surface, fins, spines, tentacles, wings. Shapes impossible to describe in mortal language. For Leviathan is not a creature. Leviathan is the ocean given hunger. When he rises, the sea rises with him, a tidal wave of black water, a wall of death thousands of feet tall, rising until it blots out the faint glow of the damned stars. His form shifts constantly, serpent, whale, dragon, abyssal mass, each shape more terrifying than the last. Eyes like twin moons open upon the waves, glaring with emerald fury. His voice is the groan of tectonic plates shifting beneath the earth. Leviathan. All things return to the deep. All things are swallowed in time. The souls condemned here are the envious, those who could not rejoice in the success of others, who sought to drag down all they could not become. Their punishment is drowning, not once, not twice, but endlessly, dragged beneath the waves by pale hands, their final breath stolen again and again by the sea that never rests. Some become part of the ocean, faces stretching across the surface like oil-slick reflections. Others sink eternally, their screams rising like bubbles before vanishing forever. Leviathan watches them without emotion. for he was once the angel of the depths, keeper of celestial mysteries, the one who guarded the unreachable knowledge of the divine abyss. But when the fall shattered the heavens, Leviathan sank with the broken fragments of creation, not in rebellion, not in greed, not in pride, but because he could not bear to be second to Lucifer's brilliance envy unmade him. The abyss completed the transformation. Now he rules the ocean of despair, swallowing all who approach. The threefold kingdom of desire, Mammon, Satan, Leviathan, 3 kings, 3 sins, 3 realms. Desire for possession, desire for domination, desire for what others have, each one a fragment of the human heart, each one a shard of the angel they once were. And though they differ in nature, they share one truth: none can escape what they became. They are damned not because they fell, but because they embraced the fall. Their kingdoms are prisons of their own making. Their thrones are gilded cages. Their crowns weigh heavier than chains. And as we rise from these depths, the air grows thin. A distant glow pierces the darkness above. But the light is not salvation. It is fire.